There's so much more to say about how they took away the land we love to see. Our dreams are lost for free.
NDP let them off easy.
They did nothing.
They did nothing.
We took thousands of petitions to them, and
Yeah.
Nicole Sarr, my MLA, said nothing we can do for you.
Oh,
I've had
no.
5 liars misrepresent me. She's the minister. She's actually the critic for
Yeah.
justice.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had. We had actually hired a lawyer to stop it. We paid him $100,000 because they didn't do environmental studies, and he went on a 2-month holiday. Midway, just before, and that's when they started moving dirt 24/7. When he came.
You got to know your lawyers.
Well, they're all the same. I've interviewed 75, hired 5, been misrepresented by 5,
Yeah.
and I can't, no lawyer will take it on. And if they do, they'll misrepresent
They're scared,
because,
they're scared.
well, the justice system is controlled by the government, right?
Exactly.
Political interference in justice, in the NDP, in law enforcement. And we went to the provincial auditor, 2,000 pages of information. They did nothing.
The mistake, like I'm solid NDP, you know, don't get me wrong, but the mistake they made was have a leader, the doctor from Saskatoon.
Uh-huh.
That man was hopeless. Okay, I think they're doing much better now, and I think there would have been a different outcome this time too. But it's too late, you know.
Well, it started with Cam Through, actually. He did nothing.
No.
We met with them, and they didn't do anything. They just let it go by.
It was a given, you know. It was
Yeah. Well, we helped them advertise in 2017. We spent about $40,000 of TV ads because they said they would stop it if they got into power. And I don't know if you saw our property, but we're on highway number 1. When you come over the overpass, it says highway robbery.
Yeah.
You know, our company, Super Seamless of Canada, we're building a new 200,000 square foot manufacturing plant. We've been in business for 45 years. This plant would house a machine that could produce $500 million worth of insulated siding a year. And it's 300 feet long. It's a whole block long. Like, it's all the way past the Hudson Bay, So we had an international company that wanted to do a joint venture with us and set up plants throughout North America, but we had to get this one up because it was the only one like it. And the engineers that set it up started in 1980s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, they were still alive at the time, but midway through construction, we find out at a public open forum that they moved the bypass. They had a preferred plan. So we started asking why weren't we involved? Why weren't we consulted? And they ended up, Don McMorris said, oh, it was the engineers that decided. So we interviewed the engineers and recorded conversations, and they said, no, we didn't agree with that. It was the developers. So we checked to see who the developers were. Number 1 was Harvard.
Yeah.
They run this province ever since they sold the land to the legislature in 1905. They bought that land for the Aurora Mall, and within weeks it was annexed into the city. Yet they told Flying J, who had purchased the land 5 years prior, they said, no, we don't have the infrastructure. We're not going to expand the city. And within a very short time, it was annexed in. They started building Aurora Mall, but they moved it 400 meters. That then impacted us.
Yeah.
We lost our access. We lost the front and back of our property. All of the water drained onto our property. So they offered us, for the 2 acres that they took, they offered us $175,000 an acre, no damages. So all the water drained to our property now. So we've been damaged in the millions to remediate it. Plus the fact that we were never consulted, we've been damaged in the hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, billions. Because if we would have been what we could have been, our plant set up, then we would have had hundreds of people employed locally, thousands nationally and internationally, and been the leading private company in Saskatchewan. So we went to Brad Wall after that, and he wouldn't respond. So I went to the Premier's dinner in 2015, and I had a letter for him how we were impacted. I said we need to mitigate our losses, and he threatened me. He threatened me that I was slandering his MLA Christine Tell, where the bypass should have went to Gravel Pit Road. Well, my story is that The only reason I'm running is because our company was impacted. We went to our MLA, did nothing.
No.
So what are the chances for anybody getting any success? We had a great story. We had thousands of pages of information we provided them that we researched. I've spent 20,000 hours in the last 10 years researching, writing articles, writing 2 books. Now I'm finishing one. We're going to do the mini book in the next 2 weeks. And then I want to flood my area with that.
Yeah.
And then hit the floor running when they drop the writ. And hopefully somebody can get in other than NDP or SAS Party, because it's just going to continue. Like, we don't have a chance at accountability and transparency.
No, it's